Good morning, everyone. We are pleased today to have in our office Stephanie Nerantzis. She's the Director of Giving at the Claude Charitable Foundation. This foundation is a philanthropic organization based in Virginia, named after Dr. Claude Moore, a physician and landowner. The foundation is dedicated to supporting educational, health, and human services initiatives, primarily within the state of Virginia. It focuses on promoting access to education and healthcare, particularly through funding programs and projects that benefit underserved communities. Stephanie, thank you for being here today. We are honored to have you. I know this is the busiest time for them with the grants, but I was able to get you to steal you for at least 30 minutes today. Tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your history, and how did you like to be part of this great organization?
Well, starting with myself, so my husband and I moved to Loudoun County in 2000. And I do remember when we first came here from Columbia, Maryland, I was rather shocked. It's like, this is the country. You brought me to the country. And me and my daughter were not very happy about it, and we wanted to go back out of the country. Because Loudoun County was rather rural then, and it took me about a year, and I have to admit, Loudoun County now, I consider it my forever home. We love it here. Every day I count my blessings that we ended up in Loudoun County. Couldn't be happier. So, and then how I came to the Claude Moore Foundation is my career, I'm a CPA, public accounting, and that's what I did for, my career. And it was right after COVID. I knew I was ready to make a change, and I know Jay Lambert, I know Lynn Tadlock, who I consider a very dear friend. She retired. And so Jay Lambert said, hey, do you want to try this out? And do you want to be, the grant manager? And I had served on a few boards in Loudoun County, and I knew, even though I knew Jay Lambert, I really knew the Claude Moore Charitable Foundation through, I served on the Board of Laws and a few other things, and to have the opportunity to serve with that organization, knowing what they do in the community, I mean, it was obviously one of the most wonderful opportunities I could imagine.
Yeah. How long have you been with them?
It's a little over 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about Claude Moore Foundation.
Well, I mean, the history of the foundation is, Dr. Moore in the 1990s, he left a lot of land and some money, and fortunately, at the end of his life, he connected with Jay Lambert, Verlin Smith, Guy Gravitt, Lee Middleditch, a group of men who they were very, they had a lot of perseverance and know-how and genius to take the land and those assets and turn it to what it is now, a trust of over, $250 million. And over that time, they have granted over $100 million in grants. So they were very fortunate that he, connected with this group of individuals who were very philanthropic at heart. They were very smart. They knew what they were doing, and it wasn't easy. In the beginning, it wasn't easy because they were left a lot of land, and they had this 5% giving requirement. And in the beginning was kind of, it could have gone differently. And thank God for Loudoun and Virginia that it didn't, because as you know, the landscape of we've given so much. So I was very fortunate that they had that vision.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how the process of kind of the grant work, and how many do you get usually every year, and how the approval process kind of like just in general. I know we can't go deep because probably you're not part of the committee of the approval and all that, but I'm sure as you are the director of the giving, so you probably will know kind of just to mention too. And what part, like I know some nonprofit, they can't apply, example.
Okay, so basically our mission, we have three basic areas of granting. The first area of granting is workforce education. That's a statewide initiative and it's through our flagship program called Claude Scholars. And for this, it's a famous story, and how it happened was, back in the early 2000s, Jay Lambert, Mr. Hattrick, who at the time was the superintendent of Loudoun County Schools, and Not Singleton, who was involved in the INOVA, I think he was the CEO of INOVA at the time. They came together, and what they wanted to do was they wanted to come up with a way to help get kids, high schoolers, into jobs quickly out of high school, especially for those who weren't going on to college. So that's how our Claude Scholars program started. And that's where we fund curriculum in schools to help introduce kids to healthcare careers. Okay, so we do this through our Claude Scholars program all over the state. We go, and we're in 52 school systems right now. Wow. And we fund, sometimes it's teachers, sometimes it's curriculum, sometimes it's equipment, sometimes it's microscopes, sometimes it's all different ways. Especially, you don't understand rural Virginia. We don't understand how lucky we are in Loudoun.
Yeah.
We have, our schools have a lot of resources in them, and especially you get other parts of Virginia, they don't. For them to get a teacher to teach health sciences is huge, or special equipment in the classroom. So that's what we fund through Claude Scholars, and that's about a third or more of our giving. Probably 40% of our giving goes to Claude Scholars. It started in Loudoun County for a very long time. That's, it was mainly Loudoun County, Winchester, Fairfax, and then a few other places. And then in 2020, when Dr. Hazel joined the foundation, that's when we really started growing Claude Scholars and really bringing it to other parts of the state. And so it's exploded, and that's why, which I'll touch on in a second, we started Claude Opportunities, because the more we got out there and we realized what schools need, because we have the combination of a healthcare crisis, and then we have some 3 million Virginians who don't have a certification, over 3 million, beyond high school. So the whole idea is to now help those people get certifications, get them in the healthcare careers, and then at the same time be solving the healthcare crisis by getting nurses, getting lab technicians, getting x-ray technicians, surgical technicians, and then we also are very focused on the mental health. So that's a big part of our giving is, right now we consider health workforce, but we're really workforce in general. Right now we're focused on healthcare workforce across the state. And as I said, that's 30 to 40%. And how giving through our Claude Scholars works, we have Shirley Basdar and Dr. Hazel, who spend a lot of time in different, we work with the Go Virginia regions, and so they spend a lot of time working with regions, trying to create these regional collaboratives. So they work with the school systems, they work with the community colleges, and they learn through that what the schools need, what the school systems need, and then they invite them to apply. When they see someone who has an innovative, collaborative initiative, they can apply for a Claude Scholars grant. So that's kind of a unique thing. And then another approximately third of our giving goes to support the Loudoun County nonprofits.
Yes. And
we do that because that's where Dr. Moore lived, that's where his property is, that's Moorfield Station. And so and Dr. Moore loved Loudoun County. So the trustees in the day, they were very dedicated to helping Loudoun County. And yes, so that grant cycle is once a year, and yes, you have to be invited to apply for a grant, and we give anywhere from, approximately $2.5 million a year is what we've been giving, a little bit more than that, to the Loudoun County nonprofits. And we try to select nonprofits that are having high impact, who are well established, And, you know, if you look at the list, you know, they're pretty much the pillars of the nonprofit community. And so they're very important to us. And then, of course, you know, we have special project, Loud Hunger Relief. When they wanted to expand, it was a great project, great leadership. So yes, so, you know, different situations go up outside of our invitational grant cycle that we are very excited to be a part of.
You support them.
We support them.
So what about event? Do you do any event during the year, or you're more kind of like sponsorship? Because I see that you sponsor.
Yes, no, we don't have our own events because the Claude Moore Charitable Foundation really does not raise money. So we like to sponsor events and help other organizations be successful. That's our goal, and so yes, we don't have our own event. However, Claude Moore Opportunities, that is the organization we spun off to take on the entire, you know, Virginia Workforce Initiative. Now that will eventually have an event probably, and that is our fund, you know, that is an organization that raises funds.
So Stephanie, from the time you joined them, any accomplishment you did and you are so proud of, would you like to share with us? It's probably more of one. We would love to hear, because you are just an amazing person. You're very well known in the community, and this organization is a great organization, and it's been for a lot of them nonprofit. It's the way to go, right? This is the way to go. Is you guys.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about you. You know, from the time you joined, anything would you like to share?
Well, I have to be honest with you. One thing really that's fun about my position right now is I get to brag all the, you know, people say, oh, the Claude Moore Charitable Foundation is so wonderful. And, you know, 99% of what they've done happened when I wasn't there. It happened under, you know, Jay Lambert, Lynn Tadlock, and, you know, the trustees. And I can say, yes, I do work for a wonderful organization, and I am very proud of everything. And so just to be a part of it, and now, as far as me personally, there's a few things that I've gotten involved in that, you know, that are newer initiatives. So I don't know if a lot of people know, is in the country, in the state of Virginia, in Loudoun County, we have a literacy crisis. Right now, like almost 30% of Loudoun County, I think it's 27% of Loudoun County third graders are not reading on grade level. And the problem is if you're not reading on grade level by third grade, it is very likely you're going to struggle all through the rest of academics, and then, you know, you're a higher risk for dropping out of school, and there's a very good chance you're going to just struggle in life. Okay, so reading by third grade is so important, and the fact that 30% of our children are not is huge. So, because, you know, I'm not an educator by trade, but you know, it makes so much sense. Until third grade, you're learning to read. And then after third grade, you're reading to learn. So it's very critical. So one thing we've gotten involved in is the literacy roundtable. It's just been, it's this, you know, Loudoun County Public Schools. It's a lot of our grantees, nonprofits. It's the county's gotten involved, and we've kind of come together and say, okay, what do we need to do this? And so we're going to launch a literacy campaign to really bring awareness to the issue. And there's the reasons why we're having a literacy crisis. There's you know, it's not easy. It's complex. COVID is a big part of it. You know, those children are coming out, and they maybe didn't get the same, you know, benefit of being in school every day. Another one is we're a device culture now, maybe not necessarily reading books like we should. And then also a lot of kids in our community don't have access to books. And then, you know, so at home, you know, they don't necessarily, and they don't have parents who know how important it is to read to them. So there's a whole bunch of different reasons. So, you know, we are starting this campaign. through the literacy roundtable, and just the roundtable, some of the connections that have been made between the school system and different nonprofits, and they're working together in ways they never worked together before. And then, so, you know, the literacy campaign and trying to bring awareness to that is a big deal. But also, what we've learned, and I've learned, I think the people in the roundtable always knew it, but one thing that we're working together now to try to tackle is the access to early childhood education. You know, it's a big problem. A lot of childcare is so expensive. A lot of people don't have access to it. There's not enough slots in the Head Start and the STEP programs. All Ages Read Together is the only free preschool in Loudoun County, so if a family can't afford it. So we're really trying to highlight through our literacy campaign also the importance of early childhood education and how that, you know, how that needs to be a part of our community, you know, that all kids have equitable access to early childhood education. And this can be accomplished a few ways, and one way we're learning is that a lot of families don't even know what they can receive, what they're eligible for. So we're looking at that problem strategically. How can we make a difference? How can we help families gain access either through advocacy, through availability, through awareness? But these are very important problems. So, you know, just working together to find ways to shine light on this problem and to solve this problem is huge, it's complex, so, you know, it's going to take time. But working on those issues has been very important to me. And another thing that is a really big deal is I've actually funded a First 10 program. So, and we brought it to Loudoun County. It's in 2 schools. It's in Sugar Land Elementary School and it's in Newton Lee Elementary School. Because what I learned, educators have always known, but what I learned as a funder is it's really the first 5 years of a child's life. That's when everything is forming, all the brain connections, and if you're not learning literacy at those early ages, if you're not hitting the key benchmarks by the time you're 5, then you're going to play catch up, you know. So this Birth to 5 program we're bringing in, it's the whole idea is to reach deep to those families from the time that child is born, make them feel connected to the community. We're doing this through Play and Learns, where we're taking 3- and 4-year-olds, and they're at the school. It's connecting preschool teachers and families and the schools and their kindergarten, you know, school, and even the library is heavily involved. I forgot to mention the library, and through the Play and Learns. The children are gaining skills that they need. The families are learning how they need to connect to their school. So from the moment, you know, that child is born and the family comes home, they feel like they're an eagle if they're at Leesburg Elementary School, or they feel like they're a tiger or whatever. They feel connected to the school and they're preparing for school and they're learning literacy, and so that they're ready to go. So yes, so kindergarten preparedness, early childhood literacy, you know, reading by 3rd grade, taking on those initiatives and working on those.
That takes a lot of time and
Yes.
effort, and the outreach. I mean, to let people know about it.
Yes.
That's the thing is.
It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Another thing that we're working on that I'm hoping, you know, InMed, we lost InMed, which was a community center in Sterling that so many people relied on. So now we've assembled, and when I say we, I'm talking all the nonprofits. I'm not talking Claude more, but the nonprofit leaders who also serve that community are all working together, saying, "Hey, how can we fill in the gaps?
Yeah.
What can we do? What part of this can we take? Do we need a new nonprofit to fill that gap, or can we, as a group, fill those gaps?" So to be a part of those conversations and see where they lead, they're very exciting. So, and then of course, you know, I'm just excited to be working with the nonprofits that serve Loudoun County, just to be, you know, a part of those conversations and doing whatever I can do to help them succeed through the foundation is just a privilege.
So, other than the literacy, I'm assuming this is kind of like your 2025, 2026 to work on that. Anything you have as Claude Foundation, as all of you guys, are you having any goal or something to be accomplished next year on 2025, other than the literacy? Any other plan?
I would say, we spun off Claude more opportunities. So I would say ensuring that that's a success and making high impact in healthcare workforce. I think that 2025 is going to be a lot about seeing through the initiatives we're already working on, making sure Claude more opportunities is a success, working on these regional collaboratives. I don't know if you're aware, because this is one thing, is a Claude Moore Charitable Foundation. We published a children's book about healthcare careers. We funded a big bus that is very interactive, that's going to be touring all of southern and western Virginia, more rural communities, and bring science and healthcare to them. Now they promised they're going to bring it up to Loudoun County, so we can all see it. But this bus, it's very interactive, where it's going to have different parts of the anatomy, different highlight health sciences right in this, and bring things to kids that they don't ordinarily have. So really, we kind of want to see that be a success. We want to see Claude Moore Opportunities be a success. We want to finish our literacy awareness campaign and really make sure we have impact in that. The Sterling Task Force, and see what we can do to help that very vulnerable community. I'm calling Sterling, but it really affects Sterling, Leesburg. It's more than that. Yeah. But yeah, we want to see. So I think that 2025 is going to be a lot about just seeing through a lot of the initiatives that we've started.
So Stephanie, a lot of people listening to us right now, and as an individual or business owner, how can we help?
How can you help? Well, I think the biggest thing is to support your community nonprofits. I think supporting your community nonprofits through volunteer and money is kind of what it comes down to. Another very important nonprofit that I think that falls off of, if you're in the nonprofit community, you're aware of them, but perhaps if you're not aware, is our community foundation. Our community foundation, I consider it kind of like the hub of the nonprofits. They provide training to nonprofits. They're a source of expertise to our nonprofits, and people can start funds there that can serve our community now and in generations to come. So yes, I think by investing in our nonprofit communities, either directly or through the community foundation, and supporting them and volunteering for them, is, if you support them, you're leveraging all the work we do at the Claude Moore Charitable Foundation. So
what a great information today, Stephanie. Thank you very, very much. I wish you success in all what you can do, and I will tell you, we are here for you. Wherever you need, wherever, reach out to businesses. I hope, the businesses can be involved too with nonprofit, because they are the face. The nonprofit organizations are the face of our community.
Yes, they are. They are. They're critical. They're the safety net. They're the opportunity net, and they do so much. And we are so fortunate to live in Loudoun County. Take care of everybody, lift everybody up.
Yep.
And I so much appreciate the opportunity to be here today.
Thank
you. Talk to you.
Thank you,
the work
Stephanie.
that you do is amazing, and helping,
that's mean a lot.
Get the awareness out. So we very much appreciate Natasha and all the work you do.
Thank you, and we appreciate your time too. I know you're busy, so thank you. Great conversation.